Welcome back to the Chicago Bears franchise on Madden 22, guys. And this week, we are in our bye week, week 9. Our Bears sitting at 6-2 on the season, second place in the NFC North, just behind our rivals, the Green Bay Packers. It's been an up and down start to the season, man. We lost to the Packers in week 1, and then went on a 5-game winning streak. Lost to the Cardinals, and then we just came off of a big win over the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. Now, in today's video, we'll take a look at the season stats so far through 8 weeks. Also, we'll look ahead, see what the schedule looks like for the rest of the season. Then we'll start talking about the off-season, like free agents that we could be targeting, draft, looking at the draft board, and also some players that might not be back the next season. Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a good one. So let's kick things off with season stats. Justin Fields in the second year out of Ohio State. Definitely solidifying himself as QB1 here in Chicago. 2,389 yards, 18 touchdowns with 6 interceptions. He's averaging just under 300 yards per game, and he's been sacked 19 times. Now, beginning of the season was a little concerned. Not even going to front. Justin had a rough outing against Green Bay. But during that 5-game win streak, he has definitely settled in. He's throwing the ball very well. He's getting the ball out quick. And some plays, definitely using his legs to get outside the pocket, showing off that athleticism. For the second half of the season and going into the playoffs, we need more of that. We need more of that cannon arm and that fast, that getting out the pocket speed that he has. I think he's going to be all right, man. Now, if I could just get his ratings to go up a little bit more, he's still sitting at like a 79, 80 overall. By the end of the season, I'm hoping that we can get him to like an 85. But as we know, the Bears are all about the run game, and David Montgomery has set the tone again this year. 98 carries, 587 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's going to be out for another 5 weeks with an injury. But Khalil Herbert has definitely stepped up in his place. 73 carries, 398, 5 scores. Last week versus Buffalo, he went crazy. I believe he had 3 rushing touchdowns. He's going to get a lot of the work, a lot of the heavy lifting. Tariq Cohen is our scat back, coming in, change of pace back. 36 carries, 217, 2 scores. Like I said, Justin out of the backfield using his athleticism, 15 carries, 142, and 3 scores. And then when we go Wildcat, Marquise Goodwin, 3 carries, 28 yards, and a touchdown. To the receiving room we go, and Darnell Mooney is having a breakout season yard-wise. He's got 36 grabs for 747 yards, only 3 touchdowns. We need to get his touchdowns up, but he had a moment during the season where he was disgruntled and came out and had a record-breaking day, over 200 yards receiving, a couple of touchdown passes. He has definitely become a great weapon for Justin in the passing game, but you already know who wide receiver number 1 is. Allen Robinson, 32 grabs, 429, and 9 scores. I would love to see his average yards per game go up a little bit more. Right now, we're kind of using him more as a possession receiver on the slants, dig routes, stuff like that. But he's such a dangerous weapon. I would love to see him, get somewhere close to like 85, 95 yards per game. Cole Kmet, 22 grabs for 256, 3 touchdowns. Marquise Goodwin in the slot, having a big year, 21 grabs, 470, and 2 scores. Cohen out of the backfield, 16 for 114. And Jakeem Grant, the speedster, 11 grabs, 207, and a touchdown. Down here, we've got Herbert, 5 for 42. Richard Downey, the rookie wide receiver from Clemson, 4 catches for 40 yards. Jesse James has 3 for 42. David Montgomery, 3 for 25. And then you got Rodney Adams, 1 for 17. Here's a look at the offensive line, having some struggles this year again. We have a interesting group of offensive linemen. Andre Dillard at left tackle. He's given up 4 sacks already this season. Elijah Wilkinson, he's given up 3. Tevin Jenkins has given up 3. James Daniel has given up 2. So has Cody Whitehair and Britt. And then Hodges, in playing time, he's given up a sack as well. Mustapher and Borum yet to give up a sack. We traded for Dillard in the offseason because he had very good pass protection, but I don't know if he's going to be the answer long-term at left tackle. We are shopping around, looking to see who's going to be available this offseason, but we definitely need to solidify that spot. That left tackle spot is very important, and there's a lot of good pass rushers in our division and in the league right now, so we've got to be able to find somebody who's going to be able to step in and solidify that spot for us. Defense side of the ball we go. I think we have the worst defense in the league right now, stat-wise, but what they don't count on is heart. And this team definitely plays with some heart. We give up a lot of yards, but we get stops. And we're led by Roquan Smith. 108 tackles already through 8 games this season. He's got 5 TFLs. I think he's on the verge of becoming a Pro Bowler this year. He should be a Pro Bowler this year if we don't make it to the big game. But I'm excited for Roquan. We've got him locked in for the next 5 years, I believe it was. He signed at the beginning of the year. He's an integral part of this defense, and he's leading this team. Jalen Johnson, second on the team with 61 tackles. You got Eddie Jackson with 48. Isaiah Oliver, who we picked up in free agency last season, with 47. Jamal Martin, the rookie strong safety now, he's got 47. Carl Joyner, the other rookie safety, he's got 43. We got Kendall Vildor with 37. Deron Clayton, the other rookie from Notre Dame at middle linebacker, he's got 34. Khalil Mack has 26. So does Lorenzo Carter. Bilal Nichols has stepped up big time since Akeem Hicks left. Bilal's got 24 tackles on the year. Eddie Goldman with 20. And then Keon Crossan has 11. Angelo Blackson in playing time has 7. And so does Tack McKinley. Honestly, I think we're doing an amazing job getting after the quarterback this year. We've got some of the top pass rushers in the league. No doubt about it. Khalil Mack leading the way with 7, tied with Lorenzo Carter. For a stretch there, Lorenzo was getting a sack in every game. I think this last game was the only game he's not had a sack in. Tack McKinley, he's got 3.5 sacks. Eddie Goldman with 2. Angelo Blackson has a sack and a half. Deron Clayton has 1. Bilal Nichols has 1. And Mike McIntosh, the rookie from Pitt, he's got a sack as well. Again, with Khalil being out for the next 3-4 weeks, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We rely on him to kind of set the tone for the defense. So look for Lorenzo Carter and Tack McKinley to be those guys to get after the quarterback the next several weeks. Turnover department, Jalen Johnson, Isaiah Oliver are 2 starting cornerbacks, both with 3 interceptions. You got Eddie Jackson, Carl Joyner, and Kendall Vildor each with 1. Honestly, we need to have more interceptions than just, 9? We should have way more than that. We're going to go to pass deflections, and look at these numbers, guys. It's crazy. Jalen has 10 breakups. You got Isaiah Oliver and Vildor each with 4. Joyner, Smith, and Crossan each have 2. And then you got Clayton and Martin each with 1. If we could just get half of those are game changers, man. We might be undefeated if we are able to get half of these pass breakups. Take a look at forced fumbles. Roquan has forced 4 this year. Khalil has 3. Then you got Jalen, Carl Joyner, Crossan, Clayton, McKinley, and Goldman each with 1. We have recovered a handful of them, too. Roquan has 1. Khalil has 1. Carl Joyner, Eddie Jackson, Duke Shelley, and TK each have a fumble recovery. And let's look at defensive touchdowns. Isaiah Oliver has a pick 6, and then Kendall Vildor has a scoop and score recovery. Again, I think our defense, man, we might have the worst defense stat-wise, but when we need stops, the defense comes up big for us, and we get that stop. Going into the second half of the season, we really have to step up, especially in that secondary. Shutting down these pass games is so tough in this game, but we need to step up in the secondary if we're planning on finishing and going to the playoffs. In the kicking game, Cairo Santos kind of taking a step back this year. He's 6 of 8 on field goals. He missed, 1 last week and an extra point last week. He's missed 3 extra points this year. He's got to get his act together. He's got such a strong leg, man. And it's crazy that he can go from making a 60-yarder to missing a 40-yarder like that. But I'm still excited that he's here. He's definitely a weapon for us. But we got to get him back focused. He can't keep missing extra points and chip shot field goals like that. Punt game, Pat O'Donnell doing a great job getting the kicks inside the 20. Almost half of his kicks are inside the 20. He's averaging 42 yards per kick. Jakeem Grant on kickoff returns, 961 yards, closing in on 1,000 yards. And then the punt return, he's got 126 yards and 1 for a touchdown that went 73 yards. I think that was against the Packers. So here's a look at the schedule. Like I mentioned, man, it's been an up and down season, man. We came out cold against the Packers, getting blown out 48-31. Then we went on a 5-game win streak to the point where we were dominating, putting up big numbers. The Patriots, we put up 42 points. The Lions, we put up 41. Cowboys, we put up 28. Versus the Vikings, we put up 48. Against the Lions, again, we put up 55 points. And then when we got to Arizona, we just couldn't do anything. We couldn't move the ball. Defense couldn't stop Kyler Murray. We lost that by 14. Then we closed out the beginning of the season versus the Bills, getting that 10-point win. Now, after the bye week, we hit the road going to New York to take on the Giants. Then we have a short week taking on the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. And then it's back to normal. We hit the road for the Jets and the Vikings. We got the Packers at home in a rematch of Week 1 and Week 14. We got the Washington football team after that. Our last home game is Week 16 versus the Falcons. And then we're on the road the last 2 games of the season versus the Eagles and the Titans. So a lot of good teams left on this board. This short week after the bye week is going to be a struggle for us. But thankfully it's against 2 teams that really aren't that good. We just have to come out and play focused. So let's take a look at the NFC standings. As of today, the Cardinals sitting at 7-1, playing great football right now. Then you got the Packers 6-2. Then us sitting at 6-2. You got the Seahawks 5-2. The Cowboys 5-3. Rams are 5-3 as well. So are the Niners. You got the Bucks and the Eagles at 4-4. And then you got the rest of the pack. You got the Saints at 3-5. The Giants at 3-5. So are the Vikings. The Falcons are 2-5. Washington's 2-5. So are the Panthers. And then the Lions are 2-6. We'll switch things over to the AFC, and the Chiefs are sitting at 6-1 on the season on a 3-game winning streak. You got the Browns sitting at 6-2, the Jaguars 5-2, Steelers 5-3, Ravens are 4-3, the Raiders are 4-4, so are the Texans and Titans. Chargers sitting at 3-4, so are the Bengals. You got the Colts and the Dolphins at 3-5, and then it's the rest of the pack. The Patriots, the Jets, and the Bills, all three 2-5, and the Broncos are 2-6. Hey, Justin's on the list for – look at that. Justin is on the short list for MVP. He's sitting at number 8. But there's some names up here, though. Kyler, Brady, Wilson, Ian Book at quarterback for the Saints. Andrew Mulligan for the Eagles. I think he's that rookie quarterback. You got Nick Chubb and Patrick Mahomes. Coach of the Year, Urban Meyer, Kingsbury, McCarthy, Sirianni, Cully, Zimmer, and then ours, our guy, Lance Briggs, Robert Saleh, Zach Taylor, and Kevin Stefanski. Wow, they got Mulligan as the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC. Wow, we got to go look at his stats. Because I know Kyler's been balling. Ian Book is balling too. Justin is 6th on that list. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. Khalil is 7th. Jalen Johnson is 8th. Okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think we have anybody on offense that's doing anything. But there's Mulligan. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Fowler, who we handle business against. Rochester's a really good player. There's Carl Joyner. And then Deron Clayton. Okay. Best QB, Russ. And then Justin. Okay. Best running back, David Montgomery is 5th. Best wide receiver, they got Kirk, Mike Evans, Mike Thomas. Allen Robinson is 4th. Darnell Mooney is 7th. Best offensive lineman, we're not going to have everybody up there. Best defensive lineman, nobody. Best linebacker, Zadarius Smith. Khalil Mack is 2nd. There's Lorenzo Carter at 5. Roquan is 7. That's what's up. Best DB, Jalen Johnson, Isaiah Oliver, 1 and 2. Best kicker, Cairo is 7th. So one thing we like to do during the bye week is start looking ahead towards the offseason. Now, the Bears do have some glaring holes that need to be taken care of, either through the draft or through free agency. We'd like to start things off in free agency. Look at the players who have not signed their deals yet and could potentially hit the open market. Now, I've already targeted offensive line, left tackle, and center. Defensive line, left end, and maybe another D tackle. Corner, and a wide receiver. Because Marquise Goodwin and Jakeem Grant are getting up there in age. And once you start getting up there in age in Madden, you start to regress. So here's a couple players that we've kind of got our eye on going into this offseason. All right, number one player on our board right now is Isaiah Wynn, the big left tackle from the New England Patriots. He's 6'2", 310 pounds. in his 5th year out of Georgia. He's only 26, has not signed his deal yet with the Patriots. Again, we're looking to solidify that left side of the offensive line. He's got 81 run block, 81 pass block, great run block power, great pass block power as well. Again, that left tackle position is very important. Now, is he the best pass blocker? No. But looking at the draft, and I'll show you guys this here in a few minutes, there are no standouts at left tackle. We need to address that position this year. And Isaiah Wynn, I believe, could come in and lead that offensive line, be a leader on that offensive line. Now, here's a guy, he's got 2 years left on his deal, but I believe we can make a trade for him. This is J.C. Tretter, center from Cleveland, in his 10th year from Cornell, 6'4", 307, and this dude is a beast. 84 pass, 84 run, great strength. He's a great lead blocker, great awareness, solid impact block. Right now we have a plug-and-play player that we picked up in free agency. I think it was Britt. And then Mustafa is his backup. We're getting a lot of pressure from D tackles up the middle, and I think JC could come in and be a solid addition to this offensive line. It will probably take like a 3rd-round pick, 4th-round pick to go get him, especially because he is getting up there in age. He'll be 32 this next season. So I'm expecting him to kind of regress just a little bit. But even if we could get him for 2 years, 3 years max, he'll be a solid player for us. So the next name I have written down is Clelin Ferrell. Now, we were looking at Max Crosby, but he just re-signed with the Raiders for 3 years. So that leaves Clelin maybe hitting the open market. He's 6'4", 265, 25 years of age, 4th year out of Clemson. My thinking is stand him up, move him to outside linebacker. We've got some decisions to make with Khalil Mack because Khalil has been, kind of threatening to retire for the past couple seasons. And, he's getting up there in age. He'll be 33, I think, this year. So it's time to start looking for players to kind of groom. Cleveland could be that guy. Solid speed, great finesse move. The block shed is solid, and the tackling is solid. I think he would be a great addition to an already pretty good pass rush outside linebacker group. That's tough, man. Another guy we've got our eye on is Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans. The big defensive lineman, 6'4", 301 pounds, 4th year out of Mississippi State. Right now he's dealing with an Achilles tear. But I think this dude could be what we're missing. Akeem Hicks was such a power rusher for us, man. I think Jeffrey could step in and be that guy. He's got a great power move, solid speed. He gets off of blocks very well. He's a smart player as well. The Achilles tear is definitely going to be a concern for us because I think he could be out for all of next season as well. We just have to keep an eye on that and see what happens with him. Now, you guys know I'm always looking to kind of shore up this secondary. We're giving up way too many passing yards. I think it was over 300 yards per game at this point. Jamal Dean could be that guy, man. 6'1", 208, 4th year from Auburn. Great man-to-man cover. He's got 93 speed, 86 man coverage, 80 zone, 83 press, 89 acceleration with that 85 agility. Yes, we do have Isaiah Oliver and Kendall Vildor. But I think bringing in Jamal Dean, he could be that guy. He could be number 2 behind Jalen, which would make one of those other guys expendable. So we have to take a look and see what happens with that. He is on a 1-year deal right now, and he's sitting behind Hayward and he's sitting behind Davis. Sean Murphy Bunting's going to be a free agent as well. The Bucs are going to have some decisions to make. I like Murphy Bunting. His man coverage just isn't as solid as Dean's is. But again, we could have our pick of either one of these corners, and they're going to both be looking for big money. They're both 25 years old. Here's another guy we have our eye on, and he would fit a need for us, man. Matthew Ioannidis from the Washington football team. He'll be going into he's in his 7th year from Temple. He's a big fella too, 6'3", 310. Now, it does say D tackle, right? But I'm thinking we could move him to one of the defensive end spots. But look at the strength. Look at the power move, the awareness, the tackling. He's not the fastest player, but he can definitely get after the quarterback. He could be Akeem Hicks for us, honestly. I don't want to put too much into, older players because there is one player in the draft that I've got my eye on, man. This kid's going to be something special. But I think Ioannidis could be somebody really solid for us, either playing D tackle or one of the defensive end spots. as we start looking into the future a little bit, we know that Jakeem Grant's going to get up there in age, and so is Marquise Goodwin, so they're going to start regressing. We're looking for more speed in that slot position. Paris Campbell from the Ohio State, current Colt player, 6 foot 205, 25 years old, fourth year from Ohio State. This kid, he's a burner, man. He's got 94 speed, 93 acceleration, great hands. The route running's kind of iffy, but how can you not like that 94 speed? You put him in a slot between Robinson and Mooney, you've got a star in the making. I think he can return kicks as well for us. Great change of direction. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on him. And another receiver, too, maybe we can trade for down the road since Devontae Adams is here now. Michael Pittman Jr., he's in his third year out of USC. And he's got some solid stats, too. He's more of a possession guy, 87 speed, 88 acceleration, 89 catching. Now, my thinking with this one is we could put Pittman and Robinson on the outside and allowing Mooney to move to the slot. And that gives us two big body receivers that can go up and catch the ball. I like Pittman a lot, but if we're looking to add speed, I think that Paris Campbell is our guy. And I can't front. This one shocked me a little bit. Deebo Samuel is set to become a free agent this year. He's an 82 overall, 5'11", 215, fourth year out of South Carolina. Again, this kid is a do-all kind of receiver, man. You could line him up anywhere, and he could be a matchup nightmare. And honestly, what I'm thinking about, he could play what Goodwin is doing. He could do what Goodwin is doing right now for us. He could play that slot. When we run our Wildcat, he could be our Wildcat quarterback. Deebo is an all-around great player, man, and I'm shocked they haven't tried to re-sign him yet. They have no money to really right now, and I'm sure in the open market he's gonna get a lot of opportunities from a lot of teams. If we want him, we're gonna have to pay some big bucks to get him. And the last player that we're gonna look at is Austin Blythe, the center from Kansas City. Now he's under a 2-year contract still. So we would have to make a trade for him, but I think it might be worth it. 77 run block, 77 pass block, 90 strength, 82 impact block. J.C. Treader is a reach, right? Austin Blythe is more of a player that I know we can land. He's the number 22 ranked center in the league right now. Again, he's getting up there in age, though. He's going to be 31 next season, 6'3", 300 pounds. I think getting a mixture of Wynn, Blythe, maybe Jamal Dean, Ioannidis, and this rookie defensive lineman that I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. We could be looking at a Super Bowl next season. Cleveland Farrell could be a guy too that we could look to pick up. I just don't want to go out here and spend millions of dollars trying to get these guys. I don't want to go into next season broke. But I think that we kind of have to start building a core here of young players with a few older players that can really help us get to the Super Bowl in the next couple seasons. Now, as I mentioned, we are starting to scout some players in the draft, in the upcoming draft, and you're going to see some familiar names, man. If you've been following this channel for a little bit, you're going to start to see some of the Arkansas A&M players get kind of woven into this series. We're going to kick things off. Craig Washington at quarterback from A&M. He's a mid-fourth rounder, 6'4", 214. If you remember, Craig came in, started one season, won the national championship, and then bounced. So we're looking forward to seeing where he lands. Richie Carroll, wide receiver from A&M. He's a 7th-round pick, early 7th rounder, 6'2", 207. They got him listed as a deep threat. There's Will Johnson at wide receiver. He's projected to go undrafted, 6 foot 190. We got Curtis Maynard, big right tackle from A&M. He's projected to go early in the 6th round, 6'4", 351, 21 years of age. But I think the best player that's going to be in this draft, though, Kyle Butler, the elite pass rusher from A&M. He set all kinds of records in his time at Arkansas A&M with sacks, tackles. He's projected to be a mid-first rounder, but I think he could be early first rounder. We got Calvin Mullins, another defensive end from A&M, 6'5", 264. He's projected to go undrafted. At D tackle, another stud from A&M. He came in the same recruiting class as Kyle Butler. This is Corey Mark. 6'5", 275, already drawing comparisons to Warren Sapp. Some big shoes to fill for Corey, man. He's 6'5", 275, 21 years of age. Another big D tackle from A&M, James Riley, 6'6", 326, 21 years of age. He projected to go early fourth rounder. He would be a steal for a team. And then there's Jimmy Stewart, another D tackle from A&M. 3 D tackles in this draft, 6'6", 280, 22 years old, power rusher. He's projected to be undrafted. Here's Kyle Wilson, outside linebacker from A&M, 6'2", 230. He's projected to go undrafted. And here's another one of the best players in the draft right now, Jason Harris, the shutdown corner from A&M, 6 foot, 199. He's 20 years of age. He declared early as well. They project him to be a mid-first rounder, but I think that he could end up going early in the first round. And here's the last player we're going to take a look at from A&M. This is Will Mosby, the big, strong safety, 6'1", 224. He declared early as well. They got him projected to go mid-second round. Again, with these A&M players, I'm not looking to pick them up. I didn't change any of the stats, anything like that. I just changed names on the players. But I think, we've got maybe 1 or 2 more draft classes, and that's going to be it for our A&M players in the NFL. The guys that we're kind of looking at right now, the main player that is on my board, the number 1 player on my board right now, Henry Benford from Iowa State. This kid is going to be something special. They got him as an early second rounder. He's 6'6", 286, A- hit power, A- pursuit, and A- tackle. He has mid-first round talent. I think if we could land him in the late first round, we might walk out of here with a steal. That's why I'm not pushing too much to get a player like Jeffrey Simmons or, an Ioannidis, because I think Benford could come in and pick up where Akeem Hicks left off. I think he's going to be that talented of a player. Now, I mentioned before, I've been scouting these offensive linemen all season, and none of them are jumping off the board for me right now. It's kind of disappointing. Lewis Hall is probably the best offensive lineman in this draft, but he's a left guard. We've already got Cody White here at left guard. We're good there. I haven't started any of these centers yet. I'll do that, the second part of the season, but it's just disappointing, especially these tackles. All these tackles are just not good, man. They're not going to be a good fit for us. That's why we have to look through free agency to pick somebody up. Here's another defensive lineman to keep your eye on, Jonathan Spellman. He's got a 6th round grade with 4th round potential, A- hit power, B+ tackle, B- power move. We talked about Benford already. Lennox Thomas at D tackle, B+ hit power, pursuit, and block shedding. And then you got Ben Barrington. He's got 3rd round grade with 2nd round potential, A- pursuit, B play rec, and B hit power. We got Sidney Clinton, speed rusher, outside linebacker from USF, B+ tackle and awareness, and B pursuit. Tavon Stokes, another outside linebacker. He's from FIU. He's got a 2nd round grade on it with B+ finesse, pursuit, and B- hit power. At corner, Gordon Roth. He's got a 4th round grade on him with 4th round potential. Same for Harvey Favors. Zach Murphy might be a steal in the 5th round. He's got 2nd round potential. I'm just concerned about the C+ press, catching, and seek man coverage. Now, our GM did come and ask us to scout Enrique Rainey, a strong safety from Oregon State. He's a 3rd rounder with 2nd round potential, B+ pursuit, B+ hit power, and B tackle. I feel like we don't need another strong safety because Jamal Martin is playing very well for us right now. But you're never going to have too many weapons on defense. 6'2", 204, he might be able to help out in tackling. If we wanted to go wide receiver, this is Justin Simon from Texas A&M, A- catching, B+ spec catch, B+ release. And that's the only receiver I've scouted so far. I've put a lot into these offensive linemen, a lot. And again, like I said, they just aren't jumping off the page for me. I'll keep doing my due diligence and seeing what's out there. But as of right now, I'm not impressed. So here's a look at the players that would be free agents for the Bears this offseason. We got TK left, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to re-sign him. Alec Ogletree, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Definitely want to bring back Tack McKinley and Angelo Blackson. I think we can let Josh Jones walk. Probably can let Noah Spence walk as well. Justin Britt, Mike Love. J.P. Holtz, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. And then I'm still up in the air about Andre Dillard. It just depends on if we're able to pick up a left tackle, through free agency or even through the draft. I love his 78 pass block, but again, if we're able to pick up a solid left tackle through free agency, Dillard might be given his walking papers. But let's go ahead and get these two deals done. This is about, 9-10 mil right here. Let's start off with Takk McKinley. He's a 74 overall right now. He just wants a 2-year deal. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal because he's still young. He's not even 30 yet. This goes up to 10.4. Hopefully he'll take this. There you go. Takk McKinley is back with the squad. And then there's Angelo Blackson, the defensive lineman. He just wants a 1-year deal. I'm going to bump him up to a 3-year deal for 6.69. Again, I like Angelo, man. I think he's a great backup. He comes in, he does what he's supposed to do, hold plug, and he can get after the quarterback a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's go 2 years because he'll be 30 next year. 2-year deal, $4.4 million. He'll gladly take that, man. Welcome back to the squad, Angelo. So it looks like Khalil Mack wants to sit down and talk. Let's see what he's got to say. Hey, Coach, I've been feeling a lot better recently. Still not where I like to be. As long as we're winning, it shouldn't take long to get there. That's what I love to hear, Khalil. That's great to hear, and I can't say enough how much it means to me and the guys that you're still here. We'd be in a much worse spot right now if you weren't around. That's big facts. Khalil Mack isn't 100% yet, but is starting to feel more like himself, resulting in a reduced hit to his ratings. And it looks like Coach Briggs is going to be at the podium talking to the media. Coach, the Giants are struggling a bit. Sometimes a team can trip up unexpectedly by looking ahead to the next game. Any fear that this is a trap game? I'm going to say no fear. Not at all. This is the NFL and everybody is a threat. We stress that week in and week out. The second you overlook an opponent is the second you make headlines for getting upset. The Giants are struggling and all the players have a -5 break tackle, play rec, and a tackle for this game. Is that us or them? Beat the Giants and avoid falling victim to the trap game. Wow. Now, if Coach Briggs would have went smug, what would that have done, man? I don't know. That's interesting that we lose a -5 break tackle. That's all right, though, man. We've got the Giants up next. They're 3-6 on the season. We're headed up to New York to take them on. Saquon, Daniel Jones, and the boys. Again, a very winnable game for us. We could move to 7-2 on the season, tie up with the Packers. We've got to finish the season strong. It's a short week. Let's go out here, dominate, get some backups, some playing time that allows our starters to rest and get ready for Thursday night versus the Dolphins. Again, this offseason is going to be another important offseason for this team. We got to keep building on those on what we already have here going on so far. We do have. Let's do this first. We do have somebody returning from injury. Marquise Goodwin is good to go and is available to play again, which is a good look for us, man. That's just another weapon for Justin to get the ball to. I'm excited for the second part of this season, guys. I hope you guys are too. And if you are, you know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that bell. Join the Noti Squad. And make sure you guys check out those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. And come through and join the Discord, fam. And get ready, man. We're taking a trip up to New York to take on the 3-6 Giants. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.